No, I was thinking to myself, if I do run into a mountain lion, I got this nice strong tripod here with a heavy-duty camera on it. You know, and it's a weapon, right?
Today, I'm hiking the Pacific Crest Trail all the way to Mexico. Just kidding. This was only a small section of the Pacific Crest Trail, located near Boquet Canyon in Santa Clarita. Before I started hiking, there was a wall of gnats in the way, and I really just wanted to do a quick day hike up to the ridge of a mountain. In its entirety, the Pacific Crest Trail extends 2,663 miles from the Mexican border all the way up to Canada. Today was only about a 6-mile hike, though, up and down. When I first hit the trail, there was a charred tree at the trailhead. It was almost like a monument for a forest fire that must have happened not too long ago. Inside the burnt tree were some seeds that an acorn woodpecker drilled out and stowed away. In general, the vegetation was low but dense. Since it was uphill, you can't really go off the trail too often. In the distance was Boquet Reservoir, which collects much of the water for Santa Clarita, northeastern side of Los Angeles.
So I'm surrounded up here on top of this mountain with lots of yucca, or what at least I call yucca. Now, this is yucca right here, and you can tell it's yucca because it has a really pointy base at the bottom. And then it shoots up here into this giant flower, and the root is actually, if you mix it with water, you can get some soap out of it. And that's actually what a lot of Native Americans used to use for soap to wash their hair and wash their face and everything like that. Now, this is a very short yucca. There's some yucca over here that is probably twice the size of me, and I've seen some even taller than that. These could just grow massively on almost anywhere here in the desert. Here's another thing about the yucca plant. Its base's leaves are incredibly sharp. I just was bending down to take a look at one, didn't even see it there, and I cut myself. Now that doesn't look like anything. That looks just like barely a scratch. But I can tell you that hurts like no else. It kind of sucks because, like, I moved out here to California over the summer, and not even 20 days after I moved out here, Andrew, Robbie, and Brian all started the YouTube channel. Now, they've been filming for months beforehand. They've been doing it without me because I was still back in college, but you know, it's kind of upsetting. I don't have anybody to share this with. I watch their videos every day. I think I'm probably their biggest fan, and I'm really appreciative that they let me kind of participate and do my own little thing here. Let me show you something here. All right, right up there is where this path takes me, I think. So I got a little bit ways to go. Now that doesn't look that much from there. From here, that looks like a ton.
When I saw that my path was going to reach the top of the mountain, I was so excited. Every day driving home from work, I see this mountain ridge way off in the distance. And I was hoping that today might be the day I find my way to the top of it. There was definitely a lot of upward hiking that had to be done.
That was an annoying shot. All right, so I turned off my camera for a little bit because I know the battery was saying that it wasn't doing too well. Because I wanted to make sure I got to the high point so I could have something to show you guys. Well, while I was climbing up, I ran into two backpackers. And oh my God, it was great to see other people. Now, that's not the longest hike I've gone on, but you know, I was getting a little nervous because this is the first time I've ever been to this place that, you know, it'd be one of those cases where you just keep hiking and hiking and you're never really sure if you get to the point where you're supposed to be. You're not sure if you made a misstep or something like that. Well, so I got there, it was this beautiful overlook. But I looked to my left and I noticed if I just climb maybe 20, 30 more minutes up this way, I would have the overlook. nothing taller around me. So I'm gonna save my battery a little bit. I'll show you what I got up there. Woo!
I had made it to the top, or at least what I wanted to admit as the top. The view was literally breathtaking. Standing on the Sierra Pelonas, looking out and seeing the San Gabriels, the Santa Susanas, and the Santa Monica Mountains, with the Mojave Desert behind me, couldn't have been more beautiful. But despite this, I couldn't help but feel disappointed. It took some time to figure out, but I was disappointed in myself. I did this beautiful hike with a superb view, not because I loved surrounding myself in nature, but because I loved the idea that I would somehow have something to show from it. I think I did it so that every time I could look at the spot from a distance, I could say, I was up there. I did that. I neglected everything around me on my way up there. The trees, the rolling hills, the birds, the breeze against my face. I ignored it because I was so driven to reach that endpoint. Robert McFarlane once said, "Those who travel to mountaintops are half in love with themselves and half in love with oblivion." At first, I hated this quote, probably because deep down I knew it was true. I did this hike because I was arrogant enough to think that I could look at this mountain from a distance and say, I conquered this. Thinking you can conquer a mountain is one of the most ignorant things you can say. The mountains have been around before you were born, before civilizations, before humans could even walk upright, and they will continue to endure. Maybe instead of thinking we can subdue the mountains, we can take John Muir's advice. We are now in the mountains, and they are in us, kindling enthusiasm, making every nerve quiver, filling every pore and cell of us.
This is cool. We're gonna hit one in the back here, but we're okay. This is. Probably should wait for one person to get out before another one came in. We're stuck.
Well, you can see my breath.
Here, I'll come out.